row should be from right to left. The fourth row should be from left to right. So zigzag pattern or the S pattern as it is called. Clear? So you have to
Left
follow
to right to
strictly this
left.
distribution pattern of the question paper, because this will ensure that no two adjacent student will get the same set. So there is a basic scientific logic behind it. Clear? Say suppose some student is absent because you have given the roll number sticker on the bench and some students are absent. So for the absent student also, you need to keep the question paper booklet and the Weimar sheet on the
Okay.
desk. Clear? You have to just distribute the question paper booklet and the Weimar sheet for the student who will remain absent in the examination. And once he or she will not turn up after a certain time, you can pick up that particular question paper booklet and the Weimar sheet. But you have to distribute for all the students. Clear? Even those who are remaining absent at the time of distribution. The distribution time is exactly 10 a.m. Clear? So basically by 9 a.m. the question paper booklet and the question paper boxes and the Weimar boxes will reach the venue, and it will be received by the venue supervisor and the council nominee in presence of the council nominee, and it will be opened at the room of venue supervisor, which will be considered as the confidential room. You know it all. Clear? So it will be opened. You cannot open it from the sill. You need to tear it the box or you need to cut the box. Clear? You have to take out the poly pouches. For question paper, the question paper there will be for different poly pouches, and the question paper denomination in the poly pouches will be 5, 10, 20, 30, just like HS examination 2025. Clear? And the Weimar sheet will be packaged in a denomination of 100. Clear? The Weimar sheet will contain in the red box, red carton box. The question paper will be contained in the blue carton box. Clear? So suppose in a room where the student allocation is 40, you must not open the question paper poly pouch in the room of the venue supervisor. You have to hand over the question paper booklet to the invigilator from 9:40 a.m. onwards, and you have to hand over the sealed poly pouches, the non-transparent sealed poly pouches containing the question paper in appropriate denomination. So suppose in a class there are 40 allocated students, so you can hand over to the invigilator 2 question paper booklets poly pouches containing 20 each, or you can give 130, 110 or 4 number of 10 denomination poly pouches. Clear? So that depends upon the availability of poly pouches in different denomination at the schools. Clear? So you have to hand over that particular sealed poly pouches, and obviously you have to cut the Weimar sheet poly pouches. Clear? Because those poly pouches will contain 100 denomination Weimar sheet. You have to take out the Weimar sheet and give only 40 Weimar sheets
to that.
to the invigilator in blank envelope, which we will provide. We will provide some blank envelope, the empty envelope, in which you have to insert 40 Weimar sheets and seal the envelope and give it to the invigilator to take to a particular room. Clear? Say suppose the invigilator is going to that particular room, the question paper poly pouches should be opened at the exam hall itself exactly at 9:55 a.m. in front of the students. Clear? Just like the competitive examination. It should be opened at the exam hall itself in front of students, and the invigilator will sign on the question paper label that it has been opened. There is a certificate, already pre-filled certificate, and where it has been written that it has been opened under the seal condition, should be signed by the invigilator and any 2 random students from the front. He will pick up any 2 students and ask them to sign up on the envelope. Clear? And then start distributing the question paper booklet, QP booklet and the Weimar sheet exactly from 10 a.m. There must be 2 invigilators in each classroom. Basically, we are allocating invigilator as per the rule, 1 invigilator per block of 20 students, subjected to a minimum of 2 invigilator per classroom. Clear? So 1 invigilator per block of 20 students, subjected to a minimum of 2 invigilator per exam hall. Say suppose in an exam hall you are allocating only 15 students, 1 5. There also you need to allocate 2 invigilator. For 20 students, there must be 2 invigilator. For 25, it will be 2. For 30, it will be 2. For 40, it will be 2. But if the number of students count goes to 45, then it will be 3. Clear? So you have to follow this particular logic. I think this is clear to all of you. Clear? So obviously at 9:40 a.m., one invigilator from that room will come to collect the question paper booklets and the OMR sheet. The other invigilator will remain in the class and will ask all the students the two things. If they carry any prohibited items, any prohibited electronic gadgets, or any note sheet, cheat, etc., they should deposit it. This is the last warning. Even after the frisking process is done outside the venue, at the entrance of the venue, some students still may carry some electronic gadgets, prohibited electronic gadgets. Still, so this is the last warning that student, if they carry anything, they should deposit it and no penal action will be taken. And also they should warn the students, the candidates, that once the examination starts, they will not be allowed to go to the toilet or washroom. So if they want, they can go now. Clear? Before the commencement of the examination. Clear? So other invigilator will collect the QP booklet and the OMR sheet and come to the exam hall, and we'll open the QP booklet poly pouches exactly at 9:55 a.m. and at 10 a.m. both the invigilator or more than 2 invigilator, whatever it may be, they will start distributing the QP booklet and the OMR sheet among the students, those who are present, and following the distribution rule logic as I told you earlier. Clear? And since this time the examination is being conducted on the OMR sheets, there will be no post-examination process on the part of teachers. There will be no involvement of HE, the head examiners or scrutineers. Every OMR sheets will be evaluated in a computerized scanning method. Clear? So all the OMR sheets will be computerized, or all the OMR sheets will be evaluated in a computerized manner, and the mark sheet will be accordingly generated. You should be cautious. You should be all the HYs, the head of the institutions, should be cautious, very much cautious about the filling of OMR sheet. We have already uploaded the OMR sheet template on our website. Please look at the OMR sheet template, which we have already uploaded. You must download it, get it printed, and you should train your students accordingly how to fill up the OMR sheets. Clear? There are 3 very important parameters. There will be no name of the students. There is no provision to write the name of the students on the OMR sheet. There are 3 important parameters. One is the registration number. Second one is the exam roll number. Third one is the question paper serial number. These 3 parameters are very important. And you know that on the OMR sheet there is a box where the number should be written, and under each box there should be circle. Clear? Where it has been written from 0 to 9. Clear? So those particular circles should be darkened. Clear? So you should train your students, because most of the students will write answering paper on the OMR sheet first time in their life. Clear? Because they might not have any prior experience. Clear? So accordingly, you need to give the proper training to your students that there shouldn't be any mistake while filling the OMR sheet. Clear? So as I told you, the first 3 important parameter is the registration number, then the exam roll number, and the question paper serial number. In the question paper serial number, the first 2 digits will correspond to the subject code. Clear? Because usually we use the alphabetic subject code. You know it very well. For HS, we usually use the alphabetic subject code. Say for example, NGA, that is the English first language. It is NGA. English second language is NGB. Nepali first language, NEPA. Nepali second language, NEPB. Hindi first language, HINA, HINA. Hindi second language, HINB, and so on. But this filling of character on the OMR sheet is very difficult. In those particular cases, we need to provide 26 alphabets corresponding from A to Z. And those are very cumbersome. So accordingly, this time we have used numeric subject code. So the first 2 digits of the question paper serial number corresponds to the subject code. Say for example, ENGA. If the subject code is 05, all the question paper of ENGA across the state would start with 05. And that need to be written on the OMR sheet, because OMR sheet is common for all subjects. Clear? OMR sheet is common for all subjects. So first 2 digit corresponds to the subject code. Then the third digit would correspond to the set, to which set it belongs. Clear? Either set 1, set 2, set 3 and so on. So basically the third digit corresponds to the set and the rest of the digits correspond to the true serial number. From the serial number we can get the information that for what subject it is, for what set it is, and from which venue it is coming. That also we can identify, because every data is stored on our server, that in which question paper serial number is going to which venue. All this data is completely computerized. Clear? So these 3 parameters, I repeat once again, registration number, exam roll number and the QP question paper serial number should be filled properly. Any wrong filling of a single circle would lead to the cancellation of the OMR, and the examinee will be awarded 0 marks in that particular subject. Clear? So there will be no provision of any correction. So since this is the first time the examination is taking place on the OMR sheet, we are providing sufficient access also. Clear? We are providing at least 30 to 40% access. Say suppose in a particular center, minimum 30 to 40% access we will provide. Say suppose in a particular venue, the number of allocated students for a subject is 280. Then you can expect to get 4 packets of OMR, that is 400 OMRs. So there would be sufficient access. And this, but you shouldn't advertise it on mass scale, because in that particular case the students would not be cautious. But even if after sufficient practice, if students commit some mistake while filling these first 3 items, registration number, exam roll number and the QP serial number, you can replace the OMR sheet. Clear? So you can replace the OMR sheet and you can just collect the partially filled OMR sheet. You can mark it as cancelled, signed by the concerned invigilator with date, and you can give a fresh OMR sheet. Clear? But it should not be done on a mass scale, because if all the students do the mistake, then there will not be sufficient number of OMR to replace it, because OMR sheet cannot be photocopied. Clear? OMR sheet cannot be photocopied. Clear? You cannot use the photocopy of the OMR. So suppose for a subject you are getting, so for a subject there is the allotment is 280, so you can expect to get 400, but so excess is 120. But if the 280 students do the mistake, then you don't have that particular reserved number of OMR sheets. So that particular replacement should be done cautiously. And I am insisting upon all the HOIs to do the extensive training regarding the filling of OMR sheets. Clear? The admit card this year will be generated through online mode. Admit card will be generated through online mode from 20th August. On 20th August, the admit card will be generated and pushed into the HOIs portal. So on 20th August, you can download it, or on 21st August also you can download it. The HOIs must log in using the login ID password of the school password. Clear? And then you can view the admit card of all the students. You have to download and you can print, and you have to print and you have to put your signature and sign the seal and stamp. It should be stamped and sealed by the concerned HOI and hand it over to the students. You must ask the student to carry the original signed and stamped admit card to the venue on the day of examination, not the photocopy of it. Clear? The student must carry the original signed and stamped admit card which has been given by the respective HOIs to the student, not the photocopy of that admit card. Clear? So this time the admit card will be online generated. So you can download it from 20th August onwards. Clear? The next thing is that for SICK and CWSN candidate, we'll put up a notice, and once the notice has been given, you can apply for, say, suppose the CWSN candidate, some students are eligible based on their category, some extra time, 20 minutes per hour. So for a duration of 20 minutes per hour means for a duration of examination spanning over 1 hour 15 minutes, they are entitled to get 25 minutes extra. CWSN candidate. That is the children with special needs. Clear? So for that you need to apply on the online mode. This time there is no hard copy application, and you need not visit the regional office also. You need not come to the regional office. You have to apply sitting at your school for the CWSN candidate or for the SICK candidate also, and you have to upload the relevant documents, and the permission letter will be generated automatically through the portal. You need to take a printout of that particular permission letter. Clear? You need not visit the regional office, or you need not contact any officers of the regional office also. Clear? So you should keep it in mind. So this is an important point which you need to remember. And finally, let us come to the packaging of the OMR. Let us come to the packaging of the OMR. From each classroom on the day of examination, there might be 4 types of the OMR. One is the used OMR, another
battery wear.
Hello. So as I told you, for HS examination 2026 third semester, that is part 1, on the each day of examination, in each classroom, there might be 4 types of the OMR. Clear? One is the used OMR, another one is the unused OMR, because we are giving sufficient excess in number. Third type is the cancelled OMR. Cancelled OMR means those who are doing some mistake while filling up the OMR sheets, particularly in the item number 1, 2, 3, that is registration number, exam roll number, and the QP serial number. For those you can replace. So the replaced OMRs are regarded as the cancelled OMR. And the fourth category might be the RA OMR. RA means the reported against. Okay? And you will do the reported against RA when there are several categories. There are 9 categories in fact. The first 2 categories are very, very important. The first one is basically carrying any electronic gadgets in the examination hall during the period of examination. And the second category is trying to misbehave with the invigilator or trying to physically assault the invigilator. So these 2 categories are very important. Apart from this, there are several other categories, carrying cheats, notes, etc. So these are there definitely. So for the first 2 categories, as I told you, if any students is caught, they will be reported against definitely, and their entire examination, their total enrollment will be cancelled. Clear? So their entire examination is cancelled, will be cancelled, because the council is very strict about this first 2 type of this particular act. Clear? So these are definitely not desirable from any students, and the council will not permit this type of the acts, and in those particular cases their entire examination will get cancelled, and their enrollment for the 3rd semester will get cancelled. So this is very important. So after the end of examination, the invigilator will take all these 4 types, the maximum will be the 4 types, to the room of venue supervisor. So suppose in a venue there are 10 such rooms from where the OMR sheets are coming. So ultimately, particularly about the used OMR, we are talking about the used OMR. So the venue supervisor will sort out, will just stack this particular used OMR serially in the ascending order of the exam roll number. Clear? So ultimately we will provide the plastic poly pouches, and those are labeled. One will be for used OMR, another one will be for unused OMR, third will be for the cancelled OMR, fourth one will be for the RE OMR. Clear? So we will provide the plastic poly pouches. Each plastic poly pouches can contain maximum 200 number of OMR sheets. It has been designed in a such a way. And for used OMR, you can find the pre-filled label where the exam roll number range is also given. Clear? So you have to put the OMR sheets according to that particular range, put in those OMR in that particular used OMR labeled poly pouch. There is a pre-filled sticker